Who is ready to celebrate episode 52, the 1 year anniversary of Please Let Us Golf, the podcast?
Do you remember like 20 years ago when you heard The Legend of Bagger Vance was coming out and how excited you felt and just like your whole world was about to change? That's how I feel right now.
All right, perfect. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Tricks, you know what I'm talking about? That lettuce, that lettuce. Gotta get it. Gotta get it. That lettuce, that lettuce, focused all on the check, yeah, all I want is lettuce, yeah, just give me the lettuce, yeah, just give me the lettuce.
Let us heads, we are back with a special edition of Please Let Us Golf, the podcast. If you heard it in the intro, episode 52. So what does that mean? The 1 year anniversary of Please Let Us Golf, the podcast. And tonight you got the full plug crew. You got Goldie, you got Golfberg, you got Adam, you got Jewel. How are we doing, gentlemen?
This is unbelievable. What a day. The year anniversary. And I just get to kick back and let our guys Jewel and Adam just lead the charge, baby.
Doing great. Thank you for having me on your show. I just want to say we've come so far, the first like 4 or 5 podcasts, Aaron couldn't figure out which way his mic was supposed to be turned. We kept telling him, hey, the blue faces you. And it took about 5, but we figured it out. I think you sound great.
Thank you.
Jewel, your Home Depot there for the people listening is looking a little better in the background. How are we doing?
My mind is blown. Y'all done 52 of these?
Yeah, this is 52. And you know what's special about 52? It's not just 52 like these other jackasses are doing. It's 52 weeks in a row of commitment. And you know what that commitment got us? And we got to thank the Lettuce Heads. Quick little pat on the back. For 6 consecutive months now, the fastest growing new golf podcast on Apple and Spotify. That's not a joke. This is publicly available information. We do sincerely thank you guys we know the guests have helped, help accelerate some things. We've tried to have fun conversations. We've debriefed you on trips from all over the country. And we're going to keep going, right? We're going to roll in. We're going to celebrate tonight in memory lane. We're going to have a couple fun old school debate topics. And guess what else? We are going to dust off everyone's favorite. Let us rank, because we're going to be talking about some of the best golf TV shows and movies of all time. And you don't want to miss it. I know you're thinking like, we know what that outcome's going to be. No, you don't. It's going to be a good one. But guys, I've been on 52 episodes. So I know,
humble
and Mr.
brag.
Golfberg, a humble brag. Mr. Golfberg's been on the super majority. Adam, you've probably been on close to 50% or more. Jewel, we used to call you occasional Jewel. You're kind of getting back into the fray now. But the reason why we do this is we started it as, hey, like 4 guys. We've been traveling and golfing together for years. We've been basically documenting this via a text thread anyways. So we decided to hit record. As Adam said, we didn't know what we were doing. Our mics are backwards. Our audio sucked. Our video sucked. We got wives. We got 2 young kids. And now we are a year later. Things are thriving. We got guests coming on the pod. And it's just as good as it gets. Isn't this what it's all about?
No, it really is what it's all about. Golf used to be what it's all about, but now our golf universe has expanded. And it made me think, you were going through the list of who's been on a lot of pods. Adam's been on a ton. And I'm looking behind him, and I don't see much. And Jewel, who's been absent a lot, and I'm seeing a lot of really nice flags at a lot of really elite courses. And I'm wondering if there's an interesting correlation there,
Mr. Golfberg, I am in the middle of moving podcast studios. That is why you don't see anything. But, maybe by, next year, a year from now, maybe I will have, flags put up, not the
full year.
What people don't know about Adam, he's a simple guy. That's actually green screen technology, and he's decided to use a khaki-colored wall as his plain background on top of the green screen.
He's using ChatGPT. It's like, can you make my wall background just look like my skin? So nobody can really pick me out.
Guys, I don't want to derail the pod right now, but I was trying to figure out when am I going to kind of fit this in, to celebrate our 52nd episode. I wanted to do something.
Oh, wow. Presents?
And so I've got my driver here. And, the talk has been, when is Adam going to replace his driver? It's 8 years old. Well, you know what? When Mr. Golfberg and Mr. Goldie were out gallivanting in wine country, Mr. Goldie was getting sideways in hot tubs. I was getting fully optimized, guys. I was getting fully optimized.
You did
I
it?
did it. I did it. Do I need to reveal?
What? Yeah, I want to see
I
the
can't
review.
imagine
Here's what's
under there.
hilarious. Me and Mr. Goldie played 18 yesterday, and I played with this driver. He didn't even notice it. I didn't say
Oh
anything.
my god.
Damn,
It was the
dude.
first round with it. First round with it.
That's a great social experiment. See who
Oh
really
my
cares
God.
about you.
Well, we didn't ride together by design. And now
Oh.
that I got a potential tummy bug, maybe it's in your best interest. But all right,
It-
we need the
don't think it
reveal.
would've
All I see is a
mattered.
head
Any
camera.
guesses? Any guesses? Elite?
God, I mean, we made
You-
what's funny is we made fun of the Callaway Elite for the whole round. So I'm really hoping it's that.
All right. Without further ado.
I don't think it's a
Without further-
mini.
Can somebody do a drum roll, please? Jewel, can you please do a drum roll? Oh
Oh,
my
yes.
gosh. The title is GT. Did you steal my driver and this is just a prank? Like, I need to go check
The
the truck right
That looked
now?
GT3,
used.
baby. Yeah, I used it for the first time yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Couple
I
rough
took the
swings.
stickers off of it, man. I was, thinking about holding on to those, but
Oh my
yeah, I
God.
did it, guys. It's gonna take some getting used to. It feels so much lighter than my old driver. And so hopefully by the big
Well,
trip.
I'm trying to think now of when the driver got fully unleashed because you started hitting it good on the back nine.
I did hit it
I'm trying to think of a
decent
couple.
on the back nine. 15 I hit it
Yeah.
pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always good to hit it well on one hole with the new driver.
Well, hey,
Yeah, no, okay. No, I'm glad I didn't know
touche.
because maybe I would have stressed you out. I did give
barely
you
used
the
it on the back
hey,
nine.
I waited to the 8th hole to give Adam an alignment correction tip. Still had the issue, with the lining up pretty far right. So, but yeah, it looked good off the face. Had a nice little baby cut to it. I'm excited. More to come.
It feels good,
That's
man.
incredible.
When I took it out to the driving range the first time, I was hitting it like in spots that I've never seen before, man. I mean, I don't want to say that I've gained 20 yards, but maybe I did.
Maybe you gained 15. Wait, does anyone else have any more? It's like this is like Avengers or Captain America Civil War. Does anybody else have any more awesome or exciting powers that we don't know about that they want to show right now? Mr. Jewel, did you happen to procure a new bag or did you get a hybrid finally? Mr. Golfberg,
No.
you always got something. Does anybody else have show and tell?
Damn. I ordered something. It's not here yet, so that's not great for the pod.
No, well, could you tell us when it might arrive? Do you got a shipping update?
Yeah, we're like 5 days out, so next
Okay.
week we will
So
reveal.
next week we will
Yeah.
do a big reveal. Well, Adam, you know what? Good. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. I hope that relationship goes well for you. You got to get some rounds under your belt though, because you're going to see the progress immediately on the range. But you know how it is. Lining it up on the course takes a little bit of time.
I thought that I talked Adam into going I don't even like to call them mini drivers anymore. I think they're appropriately sized drivers. I thought he was going down that route, but I think maybe you saw Happy Gilmore too. You got a little jacked up by that maxi golf action. You're like, I'm going
Yeah.
for distance, baby. Give me that GT3 with all the speed.
I did see Adam with like a weird shaped blade looking like he was trying to saw something on his hip yesterday before we played. So I didn't know if he was trying to get that extra rotation.
The tiger pre-squat. Oh,
Yeah, just that extra rotation.
hell yeah.
Oh man. Well, guys, I want to go in because I do want to spend an appropriate amount of time for our Let Us rank because we haven't done it in a long time. I actually went back through our episodes. We haven't done one since January 7th. So it's been a while since we've had a proper Let Us rank. But we got some debate topics. This first one's and let me preface this by saying if anyone's listening who happened to run into Jewel and I at a recent tournament, this isn't about you. you just helped memory jog a couple of these topics for us. But this is not just you. This is everywhere in the world of golf. But the first one I wanted to tee up, and Jewel, he did some on-site correspondence for us at the tournament because I won't dox the course, but there is a very special course in the Southeast that very few people get to play, not Augusta National, different one. But this field, like half the field was wearing the logo. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And what Jewel found out was a gentleman that gets to frequent this course. He does kind of like merch runs for other folks there, and it brought us to the question of, should you be wearing golf logos for golf courses that you have never played at? So I'm going to leave it there and then open forum.
No.
So it was so
Oh, okay.
egregious in this situation, though, that my wife even asked, like, "Is that the logo of this country club?" And we were at a totally different country club. Like everybody had it on. And so I don't know the answer is no or yes, but I don't think I will ever wear merch from a course that I've not played.
Adam, you had a strong no, so let's hear the classic Adam take.
Yeah, I just think, when you rep the logo on whatever you're wearing, hat, shirt, like it's almost like a conversation starter with somebody you don't know. It's like, oh, so hey man, so you've been to Bandon too? But like I don't believe in sporting the courses that you've never played before, man. Never been about that life. Don't want to hate on people too hard that do it, but that's just my take. My general take. I don't like it.
I'm having a hard time figuring out if I care at all about this particular question.
You should. You just
What
don't golf with enough people wearing these logos out there, I guess.
if I saw everyone wearing a certain logo, I probably wouldn't, unless it was a lettuce logo. I would do that. No, I don't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But you guys were clearly like in a very particular situation. But I think maybe we need to go deeper. I feel like there was something else here that was bothering you. Was it a lot of fronting? Like, were they pretending? Like it was almost.
No, I just think it's like it's weird because I also think it's an age like my father-in-law sometimes when I go to these nice places, he loves a great Peter Millar shirt. I know his color.
Yeah.
He likes it to be a little loud, and I'll get him one. You know what? That seems like I'm fine with that. But when you're like a golfer, you're getting your outfit ready for a tournament. As Adam said, even if you're going out in the wild, when you throw those logos up, it's like the bat signal. I remember when I came back from Bandon the first time and I was wearing a Pacific Dunes logo for like a year and just begging somebody to come up to me and talk about it. And then that first time they do, it's a real special moment. But yeah, I don't think I personally would be down with wearing because I would feel like I haven't earned it. Like I want to wear it with one exception. I think this is where we might have some dissent. I do think Augusta National, because like the Masters logo really isn't the same logo as an Augusta National Golf Club. So maybe that dividing line is like, if you're wearing just Masters logo shirts, like, hey, that's just like almost like a brand at this point. Whereas the Augusta National Golf Club logo, as cool as it is, maybe you shouldn't be wearing that unless you've actually played Augusta National.
Well, maybe they should restrict sales of these items a little more.
That's a
Um,
good that honestly, I'm almost surprised some of these places don't. That like it's like you don't need the merch sales because you don't have an online maybe that's the thing. If you have an online merch store, Banded Dunes, whatever, I guess anyone can buy it. But if you're one of these like really elite private clubs, man, I mean you see it all the time. Like J.R. Smith. Sorry, I didn't know I was good. This just came up. J.R. Smith, when he went to Pine Valley last year, did you see he posts on Instagram? He literally bought like $30,000 in polos and merchandise. And I don't think it's like, and it was a lot of the same shirt. So I don't think he just bought like 15 of the same polo for himself. Maybe he did, but I'm sure it's for like friends and stuff. I don't know. It's like, wow. Like, I mean, like, I guess it's free money for him, but yeah, I don't know,
I
man.
think I think I figured. Yeah, it's not necessarily like is it good or bad or is it weird, but it's like why. Like I was just thinking, would I just buy like a Pinehurst #2 shirt online and start wearing it around? Like, there's no chance on earth. I haven't been there yet, so I get it. It's like if I have, I wouldn't even want to. So it's kind of like, why do people who haven't been to like a random cool course want to wear that polo?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're just projecting, and they're
Yeah.
just it's like wish casting, and it's like The Secret. Put it on, and you may end up just being there.
The second part that came out of this tournament, and this isn't unique to this tournament. There was another one the following week, and it cracks me up, and it's specific to a 2-man event. The controlling of the narrative, because guess what? Golf is golf. And when you have 15-man flights of good teams, 2 or 3 teams are playing really good, a handful of teams are playing average, and a handful of teams are playing bad. Well, it's outside of the teams that are in your leading it. Everybody seemingly just finds an opportunity to go behind their partner's back to just talk as much shit as possible. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, but like, I mean, I got 5 birdies today. You just can't, he's not doing shit. And it's like not unique. It's great. Like the tournament locally, we had this last weekend. At least ours was like a huge money, ton of talent 4-ball. This is a 2-man scramble. And I got, the local text group. There's like 10 guys. 8 of them are in it. 6 of the 8 are texting me individually outside of the big text group to be like, oh man, like, yeah, Conrad was just bumping putts today again. It's just like he wanted to putt first. And it's like, how am I going to get a fucking read off of that? And and by the way, that was a made up example. Conrad and Phil, if you're listening, did not do that. They did not text me on the side, but their safe spaces to use real names. But I'm just dying, guys. Like, what is it? And I'm guilty of it to an extent too. I remember I'll dox myself. I called Aaron on the way home and I was just like, I started off, but I called him. I was like, Jules just didn't have it today. And I had it going and like, he was just kind of checking out and he's fucking launching putts off the green. I know what's going on. And then it hit me. I was like, I'm doing the exact same thing that I was going to go on the podcast and rail people about of like, you got to control the narrative because you don't want people to think like, oh, you golf average. Like that happens when you golf. But
I don't have it in me. Sounds like Goldie does. I
Yeah.
didn't when I got that
Jewel is a better
message
man
yesterday with the agenda.
that checks.
When I got the agenda yesterday, I was like, God, I wonder if he thinks I said something or
no,
did he say something? Sounds like he
I
did.
did,
Look,
but
it was accurate.
okay, even if you separate me, you knew people there, and how many people were coming up to you giving you the debrief on what was going on like with them and their partner?
Oh,
There were
absolutely. They're letting it fly. There was one group, the guy came up to us. I think we had already made the turn. We were on our 15th hole, and I was like, "How are you guys playing?" I'm just conversation. We have a 2-group wait, so there's nothing to do anyway. And he said, "Man, I have made 7 birdies and my partner hasn't made anything." And he was
dude.
pissed. And I looked at Andrew and I was like, "Dude, this guy just like trashed his partner. This guy's a great dude. Like, what is going on out here?"
And I like how they do it too, because they like walk over and they kind of like do the look over the shoulder thing, and they're like, like I got 7 birdies today, man, and he ain't doing shit. And then they
He
just
hasn't
like
made
casually walk
anything.
away. Yeah, I don't know, Adam. I don't know. You haven't played a ton of tournaments, but you seen it out there at all? Any of the backstabbing? It's probably all for me of trying to control the narrative.
For
I'm
sure.
projecting. I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
No, I'm more about building people up. I don't like to tear them down. But that just may be, I don't know.
Shit sounds like shitty teammates to me, and not grinding. Just not staying focused on the task at hand. And if you're making 7 birdies and your partner isn't, I mean, maybe it's something about, I don't know, their lack of play has gotten in your head and motivated you. I mean, so that's a good thing. Or maybe
Yeah.
you did see a read from them that you kind of forgot about, and that helped your putt go in. You gotta stay engaged with your guy. You got to keep grinding constantly. I don't know what's up with you guys.
And it's funny, I bring up these tournaments. This is a throwback to one of our early episodes that caused some drama when we were doing golf drama. Listener submitted, Lettucehead submitted questions. It was about splitting of prizes in a 2-man game. And this came up in the 2-man scramble tournament, this local tournament this past weekend, where someone said, someone won a closest to the pin. And they said, hey, are you going to split that prize? And it's funny because half the people in there immediately were like, yeah, I'll break my putter in half that I got, and I'll give them half. And the other guy was like, well, you're a dipshit and you're going to sell it. So whatever you sell it for, you got to give them half the cash. And they started going at it.
Man.
They're like, that's a prize. That doesn't count. And I'm like, I just go back. It's either a team game when you're in the 2-man or it's not. And everyone conveniently makes these exceptions of like, Well, if it was like the guy even said it, he was like, well, if the closest to the pin was 500 cash, I would give you 250, but it's a Scotty Cameron. I can't give you half a Scotty Cameron.
That's a
But he goes,
fact.
that is a fact unless you break it, like Delta or American Airlines. Good teaser. But but if you sell it, don't you feel obligated to give half or no?
Yeah, I think that's what exactly. If you sell it, there's a little bit of an obligation, but it's like the course is almost setting you up for failure. It's just trying to get these teammates to go after each other because there's a team prize and it's one item. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, fuck you, golf course.
It's just like the long drive. I don't know. It's just weird because they split the skin and they say, well, the skin's cash. But I'm like, yeah, but technically, like, somebody got the ball in the hole. Like, it's somebody's skin, but it's the team skin. Obviously, I agree with that too. But if it's your longest drive on the longest drive hole and you win, I don't know, whatever it is, $250 pro shop credit, they don't even think twice about anything for your partner. I don't know the dividing line.
Yeah, and I think golf partnerships are fairly sacred. Like, I only play a few of these a year, and I only play with Andrew at this point in my life. And
I
hey,
feel
I
bad
would
on
say
both
this right
accounts.
now.
I mean,
Don't be passive to your partner. Just tell them how you feel, straight up.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
if you win any money, split it. It's fun. I'm doing this for a really good weekend and having a good time. And
Yeah.
just if he sucks that day, just tell him, my dude, you stink. I look forward to that when I play bad. I want to hear that I stink. It makes me feel a little bit better.
Well, he called Aaron for that, so he got it off his chest.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be open and honest now.
I did. I publicly admitted it. But I caught myself while I was
And then
doing
he
it.
called
So
me and
that
did the same thing.
and I didn't catch myself. I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna let it rip. This guy's a fucking piece of shit. Oh god, he hits the ball so straight, and then he just freaking has 20 feet for birdie, and he has 28 feet coming back for par. It was the best weekend of my life. But
Well, I would
no,
hate to be
all
too.
good.
I used to be a piece of shit.
And I'm gonna drive by this because we're kind of, that we spent a good amount of time there on the first couple. But guys, flying with golf clubs, it even came in my comments. I reposted a story from our friends over at Old Barnwell. They had a golf pro. She was traveling recently, American Airlines, and like half her bag got snapped in half. And she even had one of the club glove metal protector things that are supposed to stop you from snapping if they drop your clubs right on the head. I mean, these were snapped like clean sever, femur bone snapped in half, saw style across like 8 clubs. So the only way, I mean, physics, you could see the only way like something had to be pressed on it and on one side and just snap. But I'm getting to the point with flying. I've had stuff broken while flying, had a good run recently, but man, like, are we just idiots for not all just buying a hard case at this point? Does that not solve the problem? Even though they're cumbersome and ugly but like, you can't snap a club in half in a hard case, can you?
I don't know, man. I don't know why we don't. As much as we travel with clubs, it just even the carrying case I have is really nice, but something falls on it, those things are snapped in half. And
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe we should be shipping them.
I do have to
But
ask,
doesn't
was
that
the
seem like a scam? What?
I'm
I
sorry,
don't know. I don't
the
feel
the
comfortable shipping
No,
them
example
you're
either.
the example you gave,
mhm.
I do have to ask, was the driver head removed? We got
The driver head was not removed, but
But
the head
irons were
wasn't.
like snapped in the
Yeah, the
middle of the
irons
shaft, it looked
and the
like.
shaft was like snapped in the middle of the shaft, not the head snapped off. So,
That doesn't even was
um,
the bag snapped in half? Like, what
well,
the
that's the thing. She said the bag didn't have visible damage. So American Airlines said they wouldn't cover it without bag.
do you think someone got mad, just pulled clubs out and started breaking them over their knee? I mean,
Well, a guy messaged. That's what I told Adam. A guy messaged us on Instagram who follows us, whose home airport is the airport she was flying out of. Don't know who this guy is. Never knew he was flying, and said this particular airport. He said every time he flies with clubs, they take every club out of the bag for security
stop
inspection.
it.
Swear to God,
That is
I have
such a
it.
violation of privacy.
I know
Yeah,
every
that's
club.
invasive.
look,
So it does,
they've
but the way
I
they're broken.
literally tape my drugs to the shafts of clubs. They cannot do that.
That
How
sounds
else you supposed to get your stuff from state to
sounds
state?
like
What the
they've got
hell?
like an Opti shot back there in Badge Clan. They're just pulling some clubs out and taking a few swings, man. Maybe a simulator back
You're
there.
right, Adam. They got a simulator. There's no way they're just pulling them out to inspect. Ooh, let's check
That'd
this
be so
out.
yeah, and then they hit it bad, and they just, "I'm snapping this one in half."
Unreal,
But no,
man.
yeah, but Julie, you brought up ship sticks and these services. The problem is like, A, it's pretty expensive. B, I don't know, like when I'm going on a trip, like I would like to be able to like have my clubs up until like the day before I go, but like you got to ship them like days in advance too. It just seems like
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't
like
work.
rich guy problems. If you can have a duplicate set of your clubs that you can just ship and have like everywhere in the world that you go, and then you have your home set. And then some rich fucks that aren't good at golf don't care. They have like a travel set and a home set, and they're just different clubs, which blows my mind. I know a nice gentleman. He's like, "Yeah, I just keep my PXGs in Minnesota." I'm like, "Oh, everything
What?
about that statement freaks me out." Um, yeah, I think that's probably a good segue, guys, into what we're all really here for tonight. Our everybody's favorite segment. Let us rank. So we teased it out at the beginning that we're gonna do like look, let's bury the lead. I think we're gonna net out of doing our top 3 favorite golf movies of all time. But before we get there, there's a lot you have to talk about to me in the golf entertainment space. I want to talk movies, but I want to start with the television side. Um, because when we were talking, should we do TV and movies? What qualifies, what doesn't? And really, we came down to like you have the Big Break, which I think is a pretty iconic show that they bastardize and can't see. Like they should be able to figure that out to be a very successful show, and they can't. But that was like a reality TV show, not like a fiction, um, type of entertainment.
Yeah.
And then you really had the 2 new ones. You had Stick come out, the Owen Wilson show, and then you have Full Swing Netflix, kind of a docu series. And I don't know if I really want to get into either of those, other than saying our market opportunity is we need to develop, produce a badass golf television show, because the whole world is moved to streaming and TV, and they haven't cracked the code. Like even Stick, it's like we can't figure out a way to make it like have golf be involved without just making the golf ludicrous, not proper nomenclature. It's not really reflective of the weekday weekend warrior golfer. I don't know, guys. Why can't we crack the code on golf TV?
Maybe people just don't care about it. I don't know. Like, there's so many people out there like that won't watch golf. Like, I don't know. I just don't think it's that
Because
big of a opportunity for people, and that's why they haven't done it.
but I would say that might be the initial inclination, because they always default it has to be about like chasing the professional game. But if somebody saw like a degenerate 40-year-old just lost his kids because of golf, and instead of like trying to recapture his family, just went all in on just golf, yeah, maybe there's something to it.
That's pretty good.
I think it needs to be a little bit lighter. It needs to be more real, though. Like I don't, and I guess that's the thing. Like maybe I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. Maybe golf is like the plot mechanism, and like it's really more about the personalities in it. But like that's the problem with like Stick. It's, oh, this kid stopped playing golf for 3 years, and he's gonna get a sponsor's exemption on a tour event because he played good in an amateur qualifier somewhere. It's like the stupidest concept ever for like if you care or like golf.
Well, stories are tough, but then also the ability to play the game where it's very convincing is a whole other
Mhm.
issue as well.
I
Go
think
ahead.
what you're probably maybe looking for, because you're coming at it from almost like the sicko angle, and
Mhm.
I mean all these movies that get made, it's casting a wide net. They're trying to bring in other, it's almost like there's very few golf movies that are actually about like the golf. It's just kind of like I don't know, like a subplot. I mean, there are, some that
Yeah.
is about the golf, but it's also like it's not like real golf. It's like what everybody's perspective, like from an outsider's view, like what golf is.
And I don't want to jump too far ahead. Maybe I'll just tease it. There is one great example of like high level competition in a golf movie, and it's phenomenal. And it's like the one movie you can go back to, and actually it'll be probably some of our number ones. I'm actually just realizing there's so much there. They just don't do it. They just don't try it. I don't really know why. And I was thinking, kind of, if you compare, like, you'd put a basketball movie together, a football movie, like looking like an athlete, I think is a little easier to pull off for actors. I'm just going to get ripped. I'm just going to do
Yeah.
calisthenics. I'm just getting, like, trying to build a golf swing for a really good actor is just tough as hell. It just is. I was trying to look up, golfers with low handicaps. It's hard to find them. So to try to do some
Actors. Yeah.
actors with with lower handicaps. It's just, so yeah, for the sicko, it's kind of hard to be convincing. But I'm surprised some of these rich dudes aren't golfing a little more. And
There's a lot of ugly 8 handicap swings out there. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Maybe, Andrew, what you're looking for is a revitalization of a career for Shia. Maybe
Yeah,
we're
but
bringing him back on the big screen in a TV show, and it interlocks
yeah,
his acting career and golf career.
yeah,
you
we
say
do the
that, and I don't mean
resurgence.
to immediately change the topic, but you actually made me realize it's Tom Cruise, man. I mean, this guy can literally learn how to do absolutely anything. He's wing walking on planes. He goes underwater for 6 minutes at a time now. And Cocktail, he learned how to flip bottles. In the race car movie, he learned how to race. Like, it's
Imagine that he hits the ball into the water, and they were like, nobody's ever found a ball in that water before, and he goes into it, and he's down there for 5.5 minutes, and they're like, he's dead, and he comes up and he found his ball.
now that's
The
drama. But I think this is our unlock. It's one of the best actors we've got, and I bet if we gave him a year, he'd look better than anybody. I
God,
would like. I wish I could put money on that.
He
Let's
was
go,
great with a
Tom
pool
Cruise.
stick.
Damn
yeah,
right.
God, Tom,
I don't
you
know.
can fly a plane, you can hit a golf
He's
ball.
also like 4'8", so maybe some. I don't know. I don't know how
Look,
that swing's gonna
we're
look.
not
Could play.
we're
Maybe
not going to
Brian Harmon's
discriminate
his caddy.
against the vertically challenged.
Look, I'm not the biggest guy, but yeah,
Uh,
Brian Harmon maybe does come in for an Open
yeah,
Championship
I don't know.
movie.
Yeah, no, I'm a hard pass on him. But all right, so TV, so movies, guys. So I thought we were gonna have more common overlap in our top three. It's not a slam dunk, but there are some like a couple that I don't think are as heralded. I hate publicly speaking. Heralded. Can someone say this word for me?
Heralded.
Heralded. Did. Uh, One I wanted to bring up, and I know Mr. Goldberg, you said you had some thoughts on it, was The Long Game. This was a movie that came out maybe a year or two ago.
Yeah,
I think
$20.24.
was it a Netflix movie or
I don't
was it?
know.
I don't know if it was a release, but I mean, all I know it. Is it a great movie? Wouldn't say that, but it's probably a worthy golf movie watch that you haven't heard of. It's about 1950s Mexican American caddies
Mhm.
that became high school golf team. Mr. Golfberg, you want to take it from there?
No, it's actually a really cool story, and they broke through and ended up being successful. And the golf swings in that movie actually look really good. But why this movie is secretly really important, it's actually in the extended Tin Cup universe, which people might not realize. So Romeo the caddy, after a couple decades of helping Tin Cup, things changed. I don't want to reveal what happened to Tin Cup and Tin Cup Part 2, which we're currently writing. But Romeo ends up becoming the groundskeeper at this course that these kids end up coming up on. And so it's just good to see him,
Yep.
back in golf action, being the old wise sage.
And that's definitely the moral of that movie, to connect it back to the Tin Cup, not the 1950s racism of the Mexican Americans at the Texas border, resulting in like not being allowed to play on the high school golf team, and then someone standing up a high school golf team and then winning the high school state championship after being disqualified from other tournaments for being
Yeah.
Mexicans. But
No, that's amazing. And they got there
that's a
because,
good subplot.
well, they got there because they had Romeo.
Yeah, it is true. He made it happen.
He made it happen.
Rome.
Rome.
Did you read
But
that off
that's a
screen?
Nah, that was just no. I just rattled that off.
That was incredible.
I think he blacked out.
It was
Breathe.
but it was a pretty cool little movie. But
Yeah, I liked it.
all right. So let's go into some of the big boys now. I want to start at I can't remember what our 1, 2s, and 3s are. So if we miss one, we'll go back to pull it in from an honorable mention. But number 3, I'm going to start with Jewel. Jewel, what is it? Let's just all say what our number 3 is, and then we'll start talking. Jewel, what was your number 3?
Number 3 was the greatest game ever played.
Okay. That one is on nobody else's list, right?
Right.
So let's talk about that for a second. Why is that one on your top 3?
I thought it was a really cool story about Francis Ouimet, and that time in golf history, I also think is just really cool. I think they were actually playing at Brookline. Is that right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a Brookline. Like he lived across the street. He had a storyline with his mom and dad, where his dad was let's be honest, a piece of shit. Treated his family like crap. Didn't want him to play golf. He went out there. He ended up playing with Walter Hagen and Ben Hogan, and ended up beating them. And his dad, at the very end, after just being a dick throughout the entire movie, 100% beat his wife, comes up to him
It was
and
a different
he
time.
looks he looks at Francis, who's being carried across the green, and he gives him $1 and he's smiling. And the dollar was for the caddy, who was also trying to raise money. He was trying to raise money for. And it was the sweetest moment. I think I texted you the other night and I was like, I just cried at the end of the
Yeah,
greatest game ever played. It was a really good storyline, I thought. And I'll also say I think Shia has the best swing of all golf actors of all time. Better than Kevin Costner, which he has a fantastic swing too. That thing was silky smooth.
not anymore.
Take a look at it.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I need
Run
to
it
go
back.
back and watch that, I need to run back to see that swing because that's a take, but yeah, I would like to see the best swings from, acting golf, but that's a good one. And I do wanna throw out there, Legend of Bagger Vance didn't make anyone's list, and we know a lot of people like that, but it's fine. Like, I would just leave it at that. It
Can I
doesn't
say one thing
emotionally
about that
move
one?
me, and it's not that interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the cinematography was really good in that movie. The storyline kind of stunk. The acting was
Yeah.
just, Will Smith was good in some parts, but it's hard to see him now in the correct light. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have slapped him and then give him some advice. Adam, you're cracking up. Something tickle you there, man?
I was not expecting Joel to pull out cinematography as he's going deep into
Yeah.
these movies,
Well,
man.
uh, hey, well, he's been watching them all the last week. He's been
Yeah.
sending me the updates on
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, Old Town Savannah, really pretty back then.
It was. All right. Number 3, Adam, what was your number 3?
Caddyshack. And to
Okay.
be honest with you, I don't even really like the movie all that much, but it's iconic. I'm not a slapstick guy, so it doesn't really, doesn't do it for me. But
Yeah.
like I said,
Oh,
iconic movie. I know you guys love it, but I'd
hey,
put
nice
I'd put
hat.
it at 3.
It looks good on you, though.
So no, I don't assume everyone loves it.
Yeah,
I think
Mr. Golfer, you've consistently told me for decades you do not really like this movie.
I don't think it's a great movie, and maybe just because it's mainly about caddies, and I've always had a sore spot for caddies. But it's old, it's disjointed, it's random. It's not. It's kind of about golf for a second, but the golf's a little wacky. I mean, it's just like from a slower, weirder time, and they were on an insane amount of drugs when they made that movie that they snuck in through their golf bags.
I guess the part I struggle with though, guys, is I have it as my number 2. I really think we're gonna do a poll. I really think this is probably gonna be 1 or 2
Lack of
on the
options.
public. But the fact that it's not on Jules' list, Adam struggled to make it number 3. It's not on your list. Like, so are we thinking too critically? Because if you think of the most iconic, funny moments from a golf movie, like 50+% of them are from Caddyshack. Now, the whole movie, the second or the third act gets a little long in the tooth, but we don't love Rodney Dangerfield. Like, what are we doing here? Are we like? I don't know. Especially
We
you,
love we
Aaron. That
love
kind of
Rodney.
comes from a background that you and I are familiar with. A particular kind of comedy that I'm a little sad you don't have as much appreciation for it.
Who, Adam?
No, you.
Oh, I
No,
think
you, motherfucker.
no, I think that the girl in that movie is pulling a hell of a lot of weight. A hell of a lot of weight, and made that popular and made people want to kind of see it over and over again. And then there's like 3 scenes. There's Chevy with the shots, and there's Bill Murray like talking to himself. There's a guy who gets electrocuted. It's like there's
It's
a
a
few random scenes. Yeah, I mean,
dude.
there's
Okay, Bill Murray. He's got the 200 yards with
yeah.
a
I'm not
7
going to be quoting
iron.
it. You can
Oh,
do it.
he got all of that one. He's got the dude when he has the rake at the kid's throat, and he's the Dalai Lama
Oh
himself.
man, I love the Dalai Lama story.
Gunga to Gunga. That's incredible. Yeah, everything with Chevy Chase is great.
Yeah.
Rodney's great. Judge Smales. Come on, man,
I
guys.
just
We're
think
really
you're a little bit unique because I feel like if you ask somebody that's 10 years older than us, everyone would say Caddyshack. But I think
yeah.
our age group, I mean, for me, probably Happy Gilmore is that kind of iconic golf movie that came out, late 90s. Um,
Yeah.
but
So that's a fair point. I am an old soul and wise, and Happy Gilmore, good transition. That's my number 3, and I'm cheating. I don't care. I made up the game. I'm putting Happy Gilmore 1 and 2 as a in my 3 slot. And while the original, the OG, is so iconic, I'll say this: number 2 is getting some undue like negative reviews from the golf community, and I'm like, you know what? I could make a compelling argument Happy Gilmore 2 is better than Happy Gilmore 1 as a golf movie. Um Happy Gilmore 1 uses golf as a storytelling plot mechanism. Happy Gilmore 2 is literally a satire about golf. Now, yeah, like I think the end of Happy Gilmore 2 kind of lost me a little bit of being too over the top, but overall, it's an actual golf movie. Like it is about like it's inside jokes with professional golfers, it's the old time golfers, it's about live versus the PGA Tour. The concept of regular golf versus maxi golf is so many layers of comedy that it's like fucking hilarious. And I don't know, man, it just made me laugh. It made me happy. The nostalgia was there. I know we probably want you guys have thoughts on Happy Gilmore 1, and I know, Aaron, you do on Happy Gilmore 2, but I'm here to ride that. I think Happy Gilmore 2 was an awesome addition to the golf kind of like lore pantheon out there.
yeah, I didn't love it. I think it had actually a really good plot. I think the plot was better than the first Happy Gilmore, but I just again, I'm not a slapstick guy. I feel like it just got a little too ridiculous there towards the end. I kind of wish it went a different route, maybe a little not more serious, but less just like insane. But I
Yeah.
get where that kind of feeds into y'all's humor a little bit with, I think you should leave, and it's just it was very over the top. It just didn't do it for me. But I did love the plot. Just the delivery was not there for me.
The first hour you didn't laugh?
I did. I liked the first hour. Like I said, they really got a little too crazy there towards the end. They lost me. It was a little too
Right.
wild.
Yeah, there was 2 parts to that movie for sure. I laughed pretty hard the first 50 to 60 minutes, and the rest of it was a little stinky. So I agree with that too. I think there's 2 sides of the Happy Gilmore 1 and 2 thing. One, I love what Adam mentioned earlier about the generational difference between it and Caddyshack. Like, I agree with that. I think if I were 10 years older, I might have Caddyshack slot in, but there's so many memories from that time in my life as a golfer and when Happy Gilmore came out. Like watching that movie at the country club with buddies during the summer when I was a kid, that's a huge part of my life. So I think there's some nostalgic stuff too.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Happy Gilmore 1 is the best. It's actually my number 2 of all time, so it's not the best. Happy Gilmore 2 would be my number 3. Sorry to confuse you with so many numbers juxtaposing each other. 1 is just too classic. That movie was way too important in my life. I was probably like 15 when it came out. And yeah, so that was my Caddyshack, if you will, though I do think it is a much better, much funnier, much tighter movie. Just way too good. Happy Gilmore 2 was such a fun throwback, and it's like so much time has gone by, and you just want to see like what happened. And when they're like, happy he won the 6 tour championships and he just went to the US Open, you're like, holy shit, like
Yeah.
he just kept going with this. It was
Yeah.
like, and
He was a legit golfer.
he's a legit golfer, and it was like the most important golfers of the 90s. It was Tiger and Happy, and it's just
Yeah.
it's so hilarious to think that could have been real. And then the way he falls off, and they keep it simple. Like, I know they kill his wife. That's the ridiculous thing, but that so fits in with that story, right? Like he had to kill someone with a long drive again, and then gets right into boozing, which is like a fun and funny problem. I'm very sensitive to alcohol problems, but it's also kind of fixable in the context. He clearly wasn't an alcoholic. He was just depressed. So he's hiding booze in literally everything he can find, which never got old for me.
Yeah.
That
Never.
that practice round with Eric Andre and that dude from SNL and the girl
Yeah.
Margaret Qualley, I think was out of this world. And it ends with that cart crash. They just like kept pushing it, kept pushing it. And that's like a Sandler quality. That's an SNL thing. Like these guys from the 90s, they have no boundaries. So that's what, yeah, it's the IT, it's the I think you should leave thing. It's like just keep going. And they really did it in that movie. I loved it.
Yeah, I second everything Mr. Goldberg just said. I really, it made me laugh. I love when people don't really get the initial joke and they just keep doing the
Mhm.
joke over and over and over to where everyone 99% of the population might be out on it. And I'm like, yeah, it just keeps getting better.
And
And the golfer cameos too, like again, like one of the criticisms of the movie, like for my brother who he likes golf, but not like big time. It was his thing. He's like, this was a movie for golfers. Like, I don't care about Xander Schauffele's cameo, but I'm like, I don't think I would care if you told me beforehand. But
That's the hardest
honestly, it
I've
was
laughed.
funny as
That's the
shit.
hardest I laughed the entire movie was Xander just
Yeah,
keep saying the
yeah,
same
Yeah,
thing.
he
Like
was
that's
great.
what
yeah,
she's I was
yeah,
dying. I don't know why. It's just the way
yeah.
that it being Xander and the
It
way he
was
was saying it. I just I don't know. It was killing me.
Uh, and I guess that's what I get at. We talk about like Full Swing is this real insight drama, and then Stick is like this fake version of, and it's like, you know what? This was just using golf. Like, yeah, like it helped because we see Xander. Everyone talks about Xander's funny, and like he's the most stoic, boring guy out there. And they're, oh, but if you know him, he's funny. And then you see him in the movie and he says a ridiculous line a few times and you laugh. Like give Jack credit. Jack's line about the
yeah, it wasn't
Arnold
bad.
Palmer was
That
was
was good.
funny. That was the Arnold Palmer joke
Yeah.
was great.
And
You got
Freddie
Freddie
Couples.
Couples just you can't stop eating the cobbler, man. And then I mean,
Leech
I don't
takes
know.
a
Yeah.
nap.
I just love this shit. And maybe it's a reflection on me, but it made me happy.
And the total parody, Maxi versus Live Golf, and then the meta thing where you've got Bryson and Brooks. Brooks, who's already saying he wants to come back. Bryson, I wonder what happens when their contracts come up. Are these two of the first people to defect? So
Yeah.
there's just definitely something interesting going on. Rory, I thought was good. Scotty was funny. I thought the only awkward person on screen, honestly, was probably like, well, Brooks Koepka and Colin Morikawa. I thought were a little, but
Yeah.
whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Brooks was not good in the movie. Colin was just kind of how he probably just really acts. But Brooks was not a very good actor. Everyone else did good. Scotty was good.
It was kind of interesting
Um
the live guys being in this movie, in a movie where they're like really going hard at
they're
and making complete
at live.
at live, just making it a complete joke and a circus. I
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how they get.
I don't know how they kind of reconcile that. And I mean, and by the way, if Bryson doesn't re-sign with Liv, I don't know what he's going to do with his wardrobe because I've never not seen him in that blue Crushers freaking polo, dude. He like lives in it. He's like, I just saw a video. He was like at a gym. He showed up and he bench pressed 225 10 times, and he was just in his blue Crushers polo and his
It's
Crushers
crushing.
hat. It's just absolutely.
You think
Oh,
he's got
he's
it
the
tattooed on his chest too?
I hope not because I don't know. Well, he could afford tattoo removal, but I hear it's a painful process. So okay, Happy Gilmore 2. Okay, so that was kind of my 3. So Adam, did you have Happy Gilmore as your number 2 or your number 1?
Number one.
Okay. And Jewel, you had it as your number 2. Aaron, you had it as the OG as your number 2. So is there anything else you need to say about the OG? Or you kind of covered it, but special movie. I know Julie
Mhm.
said I agree. Special time, midnight or 90. What was it? 96, right? Wasn't it? So yeah, and I mean Sandler films were peaking then. It's great. So I think it's appropriately rated. But I want to get to number 1, and even though one of us has it as number 2, and we'll just they couldn't just go along with the bit to make it all a home run number 1. We just had to be difficult, but we want to be real. We want to be authentic here. Is none other than not only the greatest golf movie, but legitimately one of my favorite movies of all time is Tin Cup. I don't want to start though, Mr. Golfberg. I know you have deep, passionate thoughts about this movie. Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, I mean, Tin Cup is a number one movie. It's probably it just has to be in my top 3 or 5 all time of all movies just because it's golf. It's the flawed hero. It's like the secret dream in all of us. We're all kind of good. We all wish we could kind of just live on a range and, bounce golf balls off the wedge while we're hanging out with our buddies and just like shit on a whim might just get a little motivated again. And oh, well, it just happens my caddy's my good buddy. So he can just kind of look at my swing and make sure I'm on line and on path. And shit, there's a tournament over there. We can just go try to qualify. We'll just jump in the RV. There's such a simplicity to how they just like, I'm just going to get really back in this world again. I mean, he's got the competitive spirit. He can't stand David Sims. I mean, that's a great motivating factor. The characters are perfect. The story's tight. And I think it just hits like this chord inside of good golfers that just never put in the work, never believed in themselves enough to like do it seriously when they were younger, maybe just didn't have the dad pushing them, whatever it was. And time goes by and you're an older guy and you're watching this movie and like, shit, like, do I have a run in me? And I think that's the general conceit. It's just like this inspiring movie. And then it's Kevin Costner who's the man.
Yeah.
And that's what I was alluding to earlier, like that golf drama. That tournament at the end is amazing. The music and the flyovers and the putts that matter. And Peter Jacobson up there making something and looking back. And it's just like I can't think of another movie where they pull off golf drama or have even tried.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of fantastic stuff. I know that was a little random. I didn't
No,
think of a synopsis ahead of time, but
no, I mean, and my thing is from like a film perspective, this was just from a time when they just like made movies, right? Like everything didn't have to be the massive big, and this was a box office success, right? They didn't think it was going to be anything, and it did extremely well for its niche. And, but it's everything, man. It's a rom-com. It's a golf movie. It's a drama. It's a sports. Like Aaron said, it showcases golf in a way that no movie has seriously done, and it has slapstick to it as well. I mean, like the scene, like winning the golf clubs with the shovel. Okay, I could probably not do without.
Mhm.
Some of that kind of stuff's probably
or
not
it's got
needed.
the Gary McCord stuff,
The Gary,
even
yeah,
during a tournament.
yeah,
Pelican.
that's the Pelican. Oh, dude, showing up to the therapist's office where he takes his metal spikes
Amazing.
out of the golf shoes. I mean, it's just got those are the things that when I talk about like they haven't really tried to connect with the golfer in TV.
Hmm.
It can be subtle things like that too. It doesn't have to be so overt or over the top, but like just like a golfer wearing their shoes out in the public. I mean, we've done it, but then like the guy taking his spikes out, so he's got some nice shoes to go see the therapist. But you want to talk about lines, man? This whole movie is just filled with. It's like you can almost quote the thing from beginning to end. But Jules, so this was your number one too. So tell us your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, it has romance, humor, some juice, and Kevin Costner. Dude, I mean, he makes the best sports movies ever. 4 of my top 5 favorite baseball movies, I think, are Kevin Costner.
Hmm.
Um, and I think they did a really good job creating a realistic movie with a great storyline and a great cast, and some great music too. I think we should definitely mention the
Uh,
soundtrack's pretty solid as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. Okay,
Flatbush
wait,
is
let's talk
busted.
about the soundtrack. You brought up the soundtrack.
That's a great point, Jewel. Like this soundtrack is. Oh yeah, for me, I love
What?
it. But let's
No,
those
no.
Aaron.
I love it. Like emotionally, I love it. I love the soundtrack. But my take would be it's the perfect soundtrack for the movie. I have a very hard time listening to that soundtrack like in the car. I bought the CD. I couldn't get the soundtrack like on iTunes. So I bought the old school CD and I've got it. I still have a CD player in my truck. I'll pop it in. And it's like Double Bogey Blues is fun for a minute, but I don't really relate to it. The double I don't have the Double Bogey
Broken
Blues.
busted.
I mean,
It's
these
so
songs are good
good.
for like 5 seconds. The intros are great, but it's hard to kind of anyway. But
It's good for a
perfect songs for
movie,
the
though.
movie.
It's all you need for a
Perfect for the
movie. It's
movie.
about 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Adam, even though it's your number two, I feel like we're after some of these points. I see your head shaking a lot. I think we might be recruiting you over into the number one slot. So, why is Tin Cup not number one for you, man?
Maybe if it just came out at a different time, it came out. Look, you all three of you guys are you kind of grew up playing golf. You were around the game. I was not really involved with golf until after college. Grew up playing baseball and whatnot. So I think that's why like Happy Gilmore, casting that wide net, kind of being that classic Adam Sandler '90s movie, like caught me. But like
Yeah.
now that I'm like so involved with golf, love golf, like if Tin Cup came out now along with Happy Gilmore, like Tin Cup without a doubt would be my favorite movie. It's a much more like obviously serious golf movie, even though there is a love story and whatnot. It's kind of just, funny and dumb or whatever. But no,
You
I mean,
you just reminded me of something. The funny we just did our March Madness thing about golf training aids. The scene where he's having the mental breakdown and Rene Russo walks in his RV and he's got literally like 7 different training aids strapped around his body with the thing
Yeah.
on his visor, and just having a complete, I mean, we've all kind of been there too when just things are falling apart. There's so many things you can relate to in that movie. And Adam, your opinion can evolve. I mean, you're a true golfer now. I think you could, it's
just the
okay. Like, you're not
nostalgic.
a
I feel
baseball
like it's
player
very
anymore.
nostalgic for you guys. For me, like Happy Gilmore is that movie for me.
The
Yeah.
unfinished
Sorry.
swing of Roy
Unfinished,
McAvoy.
unfolded lawn
Hey,
chair.
there's a tin cup too. Maybe,
I'm
who knows?
I'm clearing too early. I'm clearing too late. I've begged them to make a tin cup too, and I have so many draft ideas. I mean, even now, like so one thing we didn't talk about, the Shooter McGavin iconic Happy Gilmore 1,
Oh
Shooter
yeah.
McGannick's redemption story iconic Happy Gilmore 2, David Sims iconic in Tin Cup as the villain, and that's kind of what these movies, you need it for movies to be interesting.
You keep making pars, I'm gonna own you.
There,
I'll take
there's
18
there's
of
a
them.
1000% a David Sims spinoff just waiting to happen. I don't think you
Oh,
Well,
need.
that's Don Johnson, baby.
I
Hell
mean,
yeah, there is.
dude, they could to make. I don't know if I would want this to be it, but you could easily do a Tin Cup 2 to where, yeah, like he's had his fall from grace now, and maybe Tin Cup is kind of normalized his life, and then he helps him get back to
He,
prominence or
he
whatever
comes
it is.
back down
Maybe
from
they join. They try
Yellowstone.
to this the scene. Maybe they qualify for the U.S. four ball like that. Literally, that they're a team, and
What
it's like
about
that would be an incredible movie.
what about Roy McAvoy accidentally kills his wife and David Sims tries starting like a wacky golf league? And no,
Yeah,
never mind.
that'd be a good.
I'm just
That
joking.
sounds familiar.
I didn't mean it. Yeah, I liked where you were going with that though.
No, that just any. I mean, you could do a hundred variations of it, but yeah, that movie is just ripe to be made. And we still got Romeo. We got Cheech out there, and just getting him back into the fold. And we forget, man, he's an amazing character. The cast of characters in Tin Cup that aren't just like over the top slapstick, but yeah, like Cheech is obviously awesome. All of his friends play a
Yeah.
good role. The Waffle House scene is great. Renee Russo. I mean, it's real actors at a high level with enough good golf stuff. Now, I will say the whole see who's bigger contest at the after
Steroid
the
jerk.
qualifier, give it the old steroid jerk, and he selects the 7-iron, and David Sims selects the 7-iron. Everybody knows that's Tin Cup's favorite club. He's all cocky, and he says, "What?" He says, "I hit the 7." He said, "I hit the 7 like John Daly hits the 3," and I'm like, that's kind of stuff is where I do hate in golf movies, because like that's not a thing. Like you hit your 7-iron, great, but you don't hit it 4 clubs longer because that's your best club. That's not a thing. But that was a good lesson learned for him, though. It was a cool scene.
It maybe, but like the idea of owning a driving range, like a simple driving range too, it didn't require all that upkeep and just
Yeah.
you're just chilling there. And anytime you want to hit balls, banging balls, like that's a dream. The best I ever had in when I lived in Michigan, and they ended up developing it. But I had a driving range 3-minute drive from my 3-minute door to door, and it was one of those things where you just go up to the machine, put in money, and it get so no one manned it, so it was open as long as there was light. And you
Hmm.
can really get good when you have easy access to hitting balls.
Gentlemen, 52 weeks in a row. This might be our worst one we've done, but
Yeah.
it's okay because we're starting next season off with a bang. But any closing thoughts for year one?
Only that I think it was really appropriate for us to finally get into movies a little bit. Because if it wasn't for Happy Gilmore, if it wasn't for Tin Cup, I'm not sure we'd be here, guys. Movies are really important to me, and those were big time inspirations. We've been talking about this shit forever, Goldie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we got to do a little tribute.
I am excited for the next 52 weeks. Can't wait to see what they bring. I've got a new driver in the bag, baby. There's all sorts of optimism there. I've got a podcast studio in the works. I'm going to have stuff on the wall. Maybe every week, just put a little, extra thing on the wall. And by the next 52
Well,
weeks,
You did say at the beginning that you said by next year's the next 52 episodes. So what is that? Public math. Episode 104, we're going to do a check-in with Adam to see if he's come through with his new podcast studio.
But I just enjoy being on this podcast and catching up with you guys. I feel like that's why we're doing it, you know? Maybe we'll catch some free golf soon, but yeah, I enjoy seeing y'all.
Again, let us heads. We appreciate it. Season 1 in the books. But we'll see you next week. As always, stay plugged for season 2 of Please Let Us Golf, the podcast. Peace.
Happy Goldberg signing out.
Happy
And
Goldberg.
go
And
back and listen to the most overrated golfers. That was one of our first pods. It's a good one.